And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas here with you this morning, and we're going to be finding out about the Women of the Year event, something that's been going on for quite some time. We'll find out how long, honoring volunteers in our community. With us this morning, we've got Sandy Turner, who is the chairman of this year's event, and we've got two award recipients with us. We've got Natalie Weintz, who is the Community Award winner, and Renee Skinner, who is this year's President's Award winner. And all of that is going to make a lot more sense in a half hour. So, Sandy, welcome to you.
So stick around.
Yes. Sandy, welcome. And tell us a little bit about Women of the Year. Exactly what are we doing with this?
Well, the Junior League of Stark County is the sponsor of the Women of the Year, and this is the 69th year that we actually have honored women who are volunteers in the community, women who have really gone above and beyond in that volunteer role. And I'm sure some of you have pictured a person like that you know. But the first winner was in 1947, and her name was Nell Harris. And since that, we've added another category. So let me explain a little bit about the two categories. Is that all right?
Yes, the Community Award and President's Award. What are the differences?
Well, the Community Award is really given to a woman that has volunteered in a lot of different aspects of the community. That's why it's a community award.
Many different organizations,
right.
Okay.
It could be different organizations. It could be with their children's school. It could be through their church. It could be a lot of various ways that they've volunteered within the community. And that's the award that we've had the longest, the one that started in 1947. And then we added an award in 1973, backwards, 1973. And this was called the President's Award. And we wanted to honor a person that had maybe concentrated just in one area or with one organization and wouldn't have been considered for the Community Award, but yet this person has done a fabulous job, volunteer job for that one agency or one area. So that's the difference, President's Award and Community Award.
So we're so excited to be able to meet with both of them today. This year's Community Award recipient is Natalie Weintz, nominated by Habitat for Humanity. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning, Susie and Sandy.
So tell us a little bit about your life as a volunteer. First of all, Natalie, what makes you tick? Why do you enjoy volunteering?
Well, I moved to Canton. I'm not an original Stark County resident or born in this county. I was born in Pittsburgh, and I met my husband at Denison University in the 80s, and I got a job in Cleveland, and I worked up there for 5 years, and then when I married him in 85, I worked another 5 years up in Cleveland. And then I realized probably when I was 8.5 months pregnant that I didn't want to leave work at 7 in the morning or leave my home at 7 in the morning and come home from work at 7 at night and be an effective mom. So I made that commitment to raise my family and set my roots deep into Stark County. And so since about the middle of the 90s or early 90s, I've been volunteering ever since.
Now, what kinds of things do you look for as far as a great place to be able to offer your services? What kinds of types of organizations do you enjoy volunteering for?
It has morphed over the years. Initially, because I did not have any family in the area, I needed a babysitting service. And Sitter Service Cooperative, which was started by Junior League, was very helpful for someone to get their hair cut and go to the dentist and the doctor and do the errands without an infant in the car seat. So I was very devoted to that service and ended up holding many positions and being a president of that Sitter Service Cooperative.
Volunteering does kind of move with us, doesn't it? Because you find yourself volunteering for your children's school, you find yourself volunteering at the church you attend, kind of as life progresses.
That's exactly been my history as well. My children then went to Canton Country Day School, so then I volunteered as a student assistant or helper and a teacher assistant and helped in all their classes and was on the board of trustees there as well. And then one went to Central Catholic, and I went and helped volunteer one day a week during for 4 years in their student
There's student
bookstore,
life.
in
their
their bookstore, and then was PTA president in the high school for Green. My younger daughter went to Green High School, so and then moved into activities that focused more on my faith, because that became more important to me, and that's where Christ Presbyterian, working there as well as with Habitat, took up more of my time.
Yeah. What is it that you enjoy so much about Habitat for Humanity?
Oh, geez, 1,000 things.
Yeah. We have a few minutes. Go ahead.
Well, Habitat for Humanity truly is a mission that helps at the soul of the individual, the soul of the volunteers, the soul of the employees, the soul of the board, the soul of the people that are being helped. And I think providing decent home housing for residents that have been in deplorable situations or under horrible landlord situations.
Yes.
It's a wonderful opportunity where we are giving them a hand up and not a handout, where they are being offered an opportunity to put their sweat and time into it, as well as Habitat then provides resources teaching them certain skills to how to maintain their homes and how to budget financially to keep their home and to make their payments on time. And it is all certainly a blessing.
It's amazing, if folks have not been to Habitat recently, to see that visible house that you get to see inside the guts of your house. I wish they would open that up to every homeowner
For sure.
to learn how to do these kinds of things, because they really are getting a leg up when they start. There's things they will know how to do. I don't know how to do. I'll have to call someone, but they will know how to do it.
Exactly. That leaking faucet or that running toilet or
It's amazing.
the shingles and
Yes.
the blinds.
Yes.
And
You name it.
Susie, the other thing too is the way that we pick these winners is that people write letters of recommendation, and people actually send in an application for someone that they think is going to be a pretty good candidate for us. And with Natalie, a lot of the things that she concentrated on are women related. Like, she's been involved in the Women's Fund. She has been involved in Junior League. It seems like that is important to you.
Definitely. The Stark Community Foundation has an endowment. It's the Women's Fund, and trying to teach women to be philanthropic and to understand that their donations are in perpetuity and that they will be around forever, and that what happens with those funds are invested, and then we have a certain spending allocation annually that we can then give to grant recipients of nonprofits in the Stark County.
That is such an exciting day, too. I would encourage our audience to watch for when that happens, because I'm sure Habitat's been a recipient of those funds as well. But to be able to be involved with something, a type of giving that is so much bigger than yourself, that to be able to pull it all together, that women can have such an impact on this community by pulling their philanthropic funds and their giving and gifting together. And
right. And it's
oh
been very.
my, it
We've
is
done
awesome.
focus groups with the Women's Fund, where we've brought in over 50 nonprofits and encouraged them to share with us what are the needs of the community, what are the needs of their clients, what are the needs of the residents. So we're not guessing at making the right grant allocations, and that helps us define our focus area for a 3-year period, and then we're able to take off and hopefully do the right thing by all people interested and have all the stakeholders.
yes.
And Natalie also has just supported a lot of other nonprofits around the Stark County area. Her and her husband Mike attend a lot of events and are generous donors to many organizations. I know I was just at a United Way breakfast, and I ran into some people from JRC, and they're like, oh yes, we know Natalie. And there's just a lot of agencies that have been touched by Natalie throughout the Stark County area.
But I think
Thank you, Sandy.
what's so interesting, though, and this kind of is a common thread between all Women of the Year award recipients, is that nobody's doing this for the recognition. And Natalie, I would say, is very quiet in her giving and in her volunteering and everything, not trying to have any kind of a spotlight on her. I think that's something that will be common between Natalie and Renee. So how uncomfortable are you with this recognition, Natalie?
My hands are sweating.
I think, Sandy, you can touch on this. One of the things that people who attend this are always say, what an inspiring day. Can you talk about the day a little bit?
Well, let me talk a little bit before about actually how we choose these winners. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because one of the things that we really like to talk about is that Junior League is promoting this because that's part of our mission. Our mission is to promote women volunteers. Yet we don't choose the winners, and we make sure that we don't choose the winners because we want it to be impartial. So there is a community advisory board, community advisory council that we work with, and all of the nominees' information is given to that board. Yet what we do is we black out all the names and any names that would be familiar to them. And so they really look at the applications for what is the content, what they actually have done, who they've impacted, and how they have worked within the community.
So it's almost like a blind assessment. They're just taking a look, but they have no idea who this person is.
It is a blind assessment, and they actually don't know the winner until they receive the invitation in the mail. So we actually don't even tell them. They just say, okay, we want candidate A or candidate B or whatever candidate it is, the way we've numbered it.
Remind us who does the selecting?
It is called the Community Advisory Council. It is a community representatives that have been meeting with Junior League to actually help them also in choosing the projects that they're going to be working on and giving them guidance throughout the year. So they are not Junior League members. It is a male and female group of people.
I think some people still hear the term Junior League and roll their eyes. They've got some kind of a perception of that organization that current members are doing a lot to completely dispel those kinds of myths. But tell us a little bit about the Junior League today.
Well, the Junior League, I think for many years has always just rolled up their sleeves and done work within the community, probably in areas that you would never even imagine. And maybe, Natalie, you can help me on this. But one of the things that comes to mind is the pendulum at the Canton Museum.
The McKinley Museum.
The McKinley Museum. That is a project of the Junior League. Another project was the Shipley. Well, it used to be called the Shipley Baby Well Clinic.
Baby.
That was a project of Junior League. So a lot of the projects that Junior League do are varied. So they sometimes can start a project and then turn it over and it becomes its own nonprofit. Or we come in and help something. Like we've done a lot with the Pegasus Farm. We've gone in
and remember Playwright, where we developed the preschool curriculum and then turned that over to the YWCA and other preschools in the area.
And it really just depends on the year of what people are working on. This year we're working with Martin Center, and actually, Susie, you probably can explain that a little bit.
Well, that's pretty exciting, yes, and it is fun to see that right now that the actives and many sustainers are going down twice a month and feeding meals at the Martin Center and taking care of developing an industrial full-strength kitchen that's going to be able to serve the folks and the families in Southeast Canton. So it's very exciting to see these kinds of, like you say, these community projects that then get turned over and they are launched by the Junior League, and then they're turned over to an organization that can take it from there and grow it and develop it further.
And not only have we been able to do projects, I think, to help the community, we as human beings, as resources within the league, we have grown to be active participants on boards and to be change makers in all of the various nonprofits out there. So it's helpful.
And that's true because you start out as an active and you're trained to be a good community volunteer.
For nonprofits. I think we get a lot of training nowadays as women in our jobs.
Yes.
But I think it's a little different to be a nonprofit.
And it makes a difference. You always see, when there's a junior leaguer on a board because they will do something more efficiently, in my humble opinion. All right?
With a notebook.
That's right. We are out of time. We're going to have to wrap this up. But
thank
Natalie,
you for inviting me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We will look forward to May 12th at Glenmore. Stay with us. We've got Renee Skinner up with Sandy. After these words, you're listening to Our Community.